Ciao everybody, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Julian Gennady and this is episode 2 of our U23 watch. Basically what we're doing is doing a three-part series looking into all the players born in 2000 in the Juventus youth setup and or first team and or out on loan. Basically taking a look at how their season's gone. This one will be a little bit more interesting than the episode 1 because episode 1 was all of our players in the next gen team and or Primavera team. This episode, however, is going to take a look at the players out on loan, all their various loan spells, how they're doing there. So stick with us and we'll get you up to date. Welcome back. So again, basically we're going to follow the same format, same ranking system, and we're going to go in alphabetical order. There's far less players in this list, obviously, because the amount of players out on loan that are born in the year 2000 or younger is a lot smaller than the under 23 teams or the under 19 teams that are currently with the squad. So this one will go a little bit faster. It won't be 40 minutes. I might get a little bit more in depth with these. I might throw out some stats with you, where they're at, and so on and so forth. There are some injuries. I don't know how big or how concerning they are. But first, we're going to start with Marley Ake. So we know Marley Ake played some first-team football last year for Juventus. He's out on loan in Ligue 2 for Dijon. He has 2 goals in 1 start and 11 appearances. He's got no assists and doesn't seem to be looking good, to be going too well at that level. Again, scored 2 goals, so I think that might be his peak level. His ability, again, I think last episode I talked about a guy like Mulazzi who would kick the ball around someone and use his speed. Marley Ake is very similar. He has a bit more end product than Mulazzi, which is why he's playing professional football at this point, whether it's Ligue 2 or not. So he has some ability, but the first team, I got nothing because I don't see him on the first team anymore. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's better than Illing. I don't think he's better than Sule. I don't think he's better than Kostic. I don't think he's better than Cuadrado at this point. I don't think, well, he's definitely not a striker. Not better than Di Maria, Chiesa, obviously. I don't see a future with him at Juventus. He might come back, but I think we should sell him ASAP. He's 22 as well. This is like where you start fortifying spots on bigger clubs if you're going to make it. But I think he is a prime candidate to be sold for a small profit. Whether that helps our books or not doesn't matter. We're probably going to get fucked anyway on FIGC or by the FIGC for Plus Valenza. But yeah, Marley Ake, I don't see working out. Thanks for everything you did, but I think he should be sold in the summer. We'll move on to a more interesting case. Cambiaso, we know that fullback is a pressing need on this team. You can see the first team ranking there, 3.5 out of 5. I think he's on the first team next year, to be honest. From the way he's been playing with Bologna for now, especially in the second half of the season, he's solidified some spots. He's solidified his performances, more importantly, on a decent Bologna team, a top half Bologna team. I think he will be a welcome addition to the back line, especially if we continue forward with the 3-5-2. Again, I'm not sure what the plan is in the future for next year even, but having a guy like Cambiaso in your ranks should help, especially because we have to retain Sandro. I don't know if we have to retain Cuadrado. I don't think we're retaining Cuadrado, but we still need more help on the wing department. Kostic basically played every game this year because Sandro's useless and has to be played as a central defender. So I think Cambiaso will help. I think that first team, I should have probably put a little bit higher, but whatever. I think I'm saying it right now. I think he'll be a first teamer. The stardom I ranked 2.5, and I think I ranked it pretty high So to me, stardom is a player that does very well for a very good team. It doesn't have to be the superstar who the press loves and has the PR on social media. Like a guy like Stefan Lichtsteiner, I thought was a star player. Was he a superstar? Was he legendary? Not really. Was he a good player on a good team? Yes. I think that's a star player. Can Cambiaso reach Lichtsteiner's level for Juventus? Well, the team has to be winning, and I think he has the same characteristics in terms of his athleticism, and he's starting to garner more of a defensive IQ. Going forward, he can cross the ball in many ways. We know that. I did a coach's corner on him. He can do many different types of crosses and be very accurate with them. He has 3 assists this year. The only thing I'm not going to say not on his side, but he is 23 at this point. So now it is make or break for him. Now it is make or break for him in becoming a solidified first teamer. Because we see Luca Pellegrini, and what a miss that's been. Is Cambiaso better than Luca Pellegrini? I would say yes at this point. Yes, he's better than Luca Pellegrini. If we're to match them up, because I think Pellegrini's older by 1 year or something. That's why he doesn't make this list, to be honest. Or does he? No, I don't think he makes this list. So I think Cambiaso has a better future than Luca Pellegrini. I think he's better at this point. And it's a fresh set of legs. It's a fresh pair of legs to spell off Kostic, to spell off the right side, because he can play both sides, which is a plus. As I always say, the more positions you can play, the better. I think this guy is going to be a first teamer next year. I don't think I'm shocking a lot of people by saying that. So we'll go into the next one. It's Felix Correa, like another who cares. But he's fits the category, so I have to talk about him. Excuse me. Wait, is it Felix or Tia? I'm pretty sure it's Felix, no? Yeah, that's Felix Correa. Just nah. I don't even want to talk about him. He sucks. He's never gonna make it. And again, I always give the half star because they're so young and they could potentially do something in their career. But at this point, nah, man. Like Felix Correa, and the last time I heard about Felix Correa, he was with Parma, and okay, so he's on Maritimo this year, and he hasn't played a game. That tells you all you need to know. He was a good player for like the next gen team. He scored a bunch of goals there, but that's Serie C, and it's not translated at Parma, which was Serie B last year at all. And obviously at Maritimo in Portugal, it's gone nowhere as well. So that's enough spending time on Felix Correa. This is interesting as well. So I made these ratings, or I did the rankings before Koni de Winter's injury. So I don't know the extent of the injury yet. So it is a knee injury, and he's expected later this month in May. I don't know when these videos are coming out, but so he didn't tear his knee. That's good. We don't know the totality of how did he partially tear it? Did he sprain it? I don't know that much about it yet, but if he partially tore his knee, I'm scared because that is a ticking time bomb. In my opinion. He's 20 years old. He's a very, very good player. He played well at Empoli this year, center back. He didn't start every match because they had their 2 main guys and he was the backup. But when one of the main center backs got injured, he stepped in and he did very well. Played 14 matches this year. So he's got Serie A experience now. I definitely think he's a first-team player in the future. That's why I have him at 5 stars. His ability is very good on the ball. We've seen he could play right back as well. Last year against Malmo, he looked decent going forward. Again, we like players who can play multiple positions. Big, strong, athletic, good on the ball. It's just, where is he going to get? Is he going out on loan again next year? My personal feeling right now is that he is going out on loan again, but that's only because Bonucci's coming back, and that's because Alexandro's coming back. Like, we have players to spell these guys out internally without spending money, but yet they're going to keep Bonucci and they're going to keep Sandro. This is not a rant about player right now, but like it's come up because Koni de Winter can surely do better than Alexandro next year. And it's frustrating that this guy won't get even in the first team. Think about it for a sec. If we look at it, we have 5 center backs: Danilo, Sandro, Bonucci, Bremer, Rugani. Am I missing someone? I might be missing someone. Coming up through the ranks, which are, I say, are 2 top central defender prospects in Koni de Winter and Huijsen. I think you should have let a couple of these guys move on, like a Sandro or Bonucci, but it is what it is. But in the future, Koni de Winter, if he wants to stay, again, this is all up to de Winter. If he wants to stay at Juventus, he has a pathway forward to the first team. Quite easily, to be honest. And Max Allegri likes him, apparently. That's what Alejandro keeps telling me. So he's definitely one to watch. Next, we're going to go to... He's a fan favorite. Hans Nicolussi Caviglia, central midfielder. He's a fan favorite. He tore his ACL, or he wrecked his knee. He mashed his knee a season ago. He didn't really play. But then he went to Suritrol at the beginning of the season. Did well there. And now he's at Salernitana. I don't think he's played much. I know he played against us that one game at the Juventus Stadium, or Allianz Stadium. He kind of assisted one of our goals. But I don't think he'll make the first team. Again, there's too much competition. He's not aging out, but he's aging out in terms of prospect and the next step in his career. I think if he goes out on loan again, it would probably be best for him at another club around Salernitana's stature. Maybe an Empoli, maybe, I don't know who's staying up this year, a couple other teams. Somewhere in between the 15 to 10 range, a club in that range. If he goes to that team and he's a starter, maybe he can reignite his career a bit, because the dude has ability. He's very technically good. He just needs confidence, and he needs to get his career back on track. That's the biggest thing for Nicolussi Caviglia. And again, he's another one of Max's favorites. So we'll see about that. I think he will go on loan again. I don't think he's going to stay with us. I also don't think he'll be sold. So again, we'll see about Nicolussi. And like I said in the previous episode, let me know what you guys think about the ratings. Let me know what your opinions are on these players, what we should do with them. As of right now, Ake should be just binned off and sold. Cambiaso should be a first-teamer. Correa, who cares? Sell him, send him to the moon. De Winter should be a first-teamer, but I believe he'll be loaned out. Nicolussi Caviglia should be loaned out, could be sold. And we'll get to our next player. And that is none other than a guy from Monza, Filippo Ranocchia. Again, very good player. Not like upper echelon, of course. We know he's playing for Monza, barely playing for Monza. We know that he can strike a ball from long range. We know that he's very good at passing the ball. We know he's decent in the attacking third. We also know, and I'll say this till I'm blue in the face, that we have a high concentration of players for competition in our central midfield department. I just talked about one, Nicolussi. We have one coming after Ranocchia, and we'll talk about him in a bit. We have Moretti. We have Fagioli. We have Nonga in the second team, or in the lower ranks. There's Luis Hassa. There's Bonetti. There's all these players who are good. But are they good enough to surpass these other players? Like the ones I just named off. The ones on the first team already. The one that we're going to speak about a little bit later. That's why I think his first team rating is so low. I think Ranocchia gets sold, to be honest, this summer. Just a feeling I have. Maybe 5 million to, again, a team in the, maybe a promoted team, maybe a team in the 16 to 10 range. Maybe use Ranocchia as collateral for a swap with another team that you want to poach from. Maybe for Monza, if you want that Carlo Augusto fullback or wingback, you say, hey, take Ranocchia full time and we'll take Augusto. Maybe use him as a piece. But we'll see. I don't see him in the first team. Not because of his ability, but because of the pecking order at this point. So that's him. And we'll go on to our final one. Again, this is strictly due to alphabetical order, as like the first episode ended on Yildiz, and this episode's ending on Rovella. This is not a controversial take, but I'm scared. I'm not scared of his ability. I'm not scared of his potential. I'm scared of his muscles. They're frail. He's weak. He's got weak muscles. He'll always hurt. If this dude is able to put it together and stay healthy, look out. He's very good. Like, he is upper echelon, top prospect good. It's if he can put the injury woes behind him, because now it's 2 straight seasons where he's had injury problems at such a young age. So again, it's scary. I'm scared for him. His deliveries on set pieces is second to none already at this age. His busyness and his ability to get around the park and get support and pass the ball, move it, facilitate the game, second to none in the league. In the league. Serie A. Defensively responsible. Not always in the rights, but like cutting off passing lanes, protecting the defense. He can do that stuff. Not like a Paredes. Paredes is a very good shield in front of the back line. Rovella's not quite that good, but I'm sure he could get that good. Very technical on the ball. Very smart with the ball in his own end. Again, like I said, deliveries, set pieces, my God. He's probably had about 6 assists in the past 2 seasons just from set pieces. I didn't give him a 5-star because I'm scared of his injuries. I didn't give him 4.5 stardom because of his injuries. And I didn't give him 4-star or 4 or 5, 4.5 star ability because an ability in football, in any sport, is availability. I'm scared. But other than that, I think he is the one prospect Juventus have that's currently not on the first team that has the highest potential. He's proven it in the league. In the league you were destined to play in. He's proven it at that stage. Has he proven it in Europe? No, of course not. He hasn't played a game in Europe. During that American tour, we played that second-rate Mexican team. We played Barcelona. We played Real Madrid. He was our best midfielder during that time. He was healthy. And it was a big what the hell reaction from the Juventus fans, questioning why Rovella was sent out on loan to Monza and why we got Paredes. Now, me personally, I was happy with getting Paredes and sending Rovella out on loan, mainly because we saw how Rovella got an injury last year. And I was questioning, could he do it? prove it to me more. That's what I didn't want. I didn't want him to prove it to me at Juventus. Similar to Fagioli, I was scared shitless when I was like, oh, Fagioli's going to get some game time here. I'm scared. I didn't want to do that with Fagioli or Rovella. I was kind of right, not in the best way, but Rovella proved it with Monza. Again, he's not a world beater. He's like, let me get this straight. He's not, but he's a good prospect. He's a very good midfielder in Serie A. So if he can fix up and straighten out his injuries, I don't know if that's wishful thinking or what, but he's one to watch out for. I think everyone knows that by now, but it's alarming, his injury list already. So I think you save salary when Paredes goes back to PSG and Rovella steps in. I don't think you're dropping off too much quality, if any, with Paredes and Rovella. The experience and the defensive ability from Paredes is miles better than Rovella. Let's not kid ourselves. But in terms of passing range, in terms of set piece delivery, in terms of busyness around and supporting and helping build out the back, you want Paredes, or you want Rovella, sorry. So I think he's a staple for next season. Just how many games is he going to play? Let's say he plays 40 next year. He's a part of 40 games next year. It's done and dusted that this guy is a staple in the Juventus team for the next 10 years. Staple. If he can prove that he can stay healthy, I have no doubt in my mind he'll prove it on the pitch. He's a good player. And with that, we'll end out the loans, the players on loan, the players born in 2000 that are out on loan. Not a big list, but out of that list, you probably see Cambiaso and Rovella come back, definitely to be in the first team. Players like Nicolussi Caviglia, Ranocchia will probably be moved on. Again, Caviglia probably loaned out. Koni de Winter more than likely loaned out. Correa and Ake, who cares? So that's it. So that's episode 2. Again, like this video. Support the channel by liking it and subscribing to it. Follow Bianconeri Zone on all social media platforms at Bianconeri Zone, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Follow myself at Gennady151 on Twitter. And we'll see you for episode 3, which is coming out very shortly. And that is first team players. Stay tuned.